So Magisto is a kind of a magical video editor that edits your videos in essentially like a click or a few clicks, and this is part of a very big problem about what to do with your personal videos that we're trying to handle here at Magisto. And it's funny because the first time I've kind of encountered this problem was very personal. It was when my first daughter was born, like 1 month later, and we tried to. I mean, I was very enthusiastic about everything, and I bought a new camcorder and a still camera, and I started to capture a lot of video and footage and photos as well of these great family moments that we had. And then 1 month later, we had this party we wanted to do with a bunch of guests. And we said, hey, let's do something for the guests with all this footage that we had. Let's do some very nice video. This was the first time me and my wife kind of encountered this world of video editing, and this was very surprising for me to find out how difficult it is. And so it took us like 2 weeks to get this very good 2 minutes of edited video. It was the last time my wife ever edited a video. It was way too time consuming and difficult. And this is kind of a place where I started to understand that many people have this problem. It can't be that I'm the only guy who cannot edit his videos. This is something which is way too difficult for the average person. And the implication was that there's a huge market, many billions of dollars, of people that are just capturing videos and doing nothing with them. And on the other hand, there's the best memories. I mean, the best moments in the life are just there, doing nothing forever. This understanding was kind of surprising to me. How could it be that people still capture video and they do nothing with it? And so this was the first understanding that there's a need, a very huge need for something like Magisto. On the other hand, it took me a few years just to understand that it could be done. Okay, because the trying to kind of mimic the way a human editor would work to edit video and storytell to create a very polished professional video. This is something I couldn't imagine at first can be done by a computer, and it took me a few years to understand. Yes, this can be done, and in many cases better than the person who edited his own video. In a sense, Magisto works somewhat really like a human editor would work. I mean, like every guy trying to edit a video, he will first look at the footage and try to understand what is at the footage. I mean, who are the main characters there? What are the main scenes? What are the main actions? What's going on there? And so Magisto, I mean, this is a very basic AI and the artificial intelligence that we do is just understanding, going from pixels to semantic notions such as characters, important characters in scenes and action, etc. Just going from pixel to these kind of notions is incredibly complex for computer, and this is the part of analysis. And after we have this layer of understanding, then the level of description we have of the video is again in terms of like a script. Okay, this character did this and that in that scene. Okay, and they did this together, etc., etc. So we take all this understanding, and then from all the footage we have, the computer now goes to the next stage, which is like the editing or the storytelling part. This is a more I'd say cinematic or artistic part, in which you just look at what you have and then you decide on how to tell it. Okay, so you decide which parts are more relevant to the subject. Some of them are not relevant, and then you take them out and take a lot of considerations into this process from all the understanding that you had in previous parts. So we obviously try to tell the story to match the important characters there and the scenes and the actions. And it might be a very different complex from scene to scene. So if you might have a video which was taken at a sport event, you're going to put a lot of focus on the action. if there was a clip of my kids, I would put a lot of focus on the kids themselves, their kind of the way they interacted together, and not just the scenes. Okay, so it's knowing what to select is very important. This is storytelling, and there's also a lot of information from the way the cameraman captured the video, on what he focused, on what he stopped. Okay, and to kind of understand better what is important and what is not important. And this is just the storytelling part. After the storytelling part, we have these parts we know we want to put in the editing, but it's not enough, because usually personal video looks very rough. Okay, the camera is usually shaking. People are not professional cameramen, so we have to do a lot of post-processing to make it look professional. So we take the clips that we've selected and we do stabilization, and we do recoloring of the footage, and we add effects and transitions that interact with what's happening in the video itself. So we might select, for instance, to highlight someone, okay, even if it was not highlighted. We might add a zoom if you didn't have a zoom, but you should have done. Okay, so we fix a lot of the problems because people are not professional cameramen, and this makes the resulting video look like more like a movie rather than a home video.